Teresa Skelton of the Justice and Anti-Corruption Party. Just to remind you, I am being prosecuted for allegedly harassing Hampshire Police and Crime Commissioner Donna Jones, an ambitious lady, an ambitious politician who wants her critics, including me, silenced and taken down. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who turned up to support me for the case management hearing at Westminster's Magistrates on the 15th of April. Thank you. You really made a splash. On the evening of 10th of April 2024, I attended the annual town meeting in Petersfield, Hampshire, where Donna Jones was scheduled to speak. Miss Jones was only supposed to be giving an update about progress on the town's new police station. During an official election period, the law doesn't allow any candidate to use a publicly funded event like this one as a platform for a full-blown campaign speech, unless all other candidates are permitted to do the same. When Miss Jones used her slot on the agenda to do exactly this, there were protests from the floor about the legality of her speech, including from some of the PCC candidates' agents. But the chairman of the meeting steamrolled these and Miss Jones just carried on. As I was filming her speaking, a woman sitting in front of me suddenly elbowed me, accusing me of leaning into her daughter. The chairman, Petersfield Mayor J.C. Chrissy, Miss Jones's fellow Conservative, immediately accused me of disturbing the meeting and had me thrown out. I felt the whole incident was contrived. I only need say I was present at the meeting to support the Justice and Anti-Corruption Party candidate, Mr. Don Gerard, also present, who went on to win 40,691 votes in the PCC election. For over 3 months, I had no further contact with Donna Jones. We were never in each other's presence anywhere. Then, out of the blue, on the afternoon of 15th of July, 2 police officers turned up on my doorstep in Winchester to arrest me for allegedly harassing Donna Jones. They called up a van to cart me off to custody in Basingstoke, nearly 20 miles away. Before being taken, I was publicly searched out in the street in full view of my neighbours. As I was never cautioned, the whole process was unlawful. I was held overnight in the custody centre for about 21 hours. I was feeling ill and had a headache. Even though I asked for a solicitor immediately I arrived in custody, it was only 15 hours later that one turned up. I was not treated well, but it now turns out that the police wiped the video custody record that would have shown this, even though I requested its disclosure within a very few days. After I was released, they brought the date forward for me to answer bail, just so that I would be within time to be charged. I believe the energy put into prosecuting me is due to my having challenged Donna Jones over her failure to act on evidence of serious misconduct in Hampshire Police that I have brought to her attention. In Westminster Magistrates, where the case was sent without any consultation with me, I've experienced two district judges. First there was Goldspring on 18th of November 2024 and 15th of April 2025. Sandwiched in between was Gordon on 10th of February 2025. Both came across as disrespectful, abrupt and overbearing. Both wanted to browbeat me into getting a solicitor rather than acting in person. On 18th of November 2024, Mr. Goldspring refused to allow me my Mackenzie friend. I refused to go into the dock or to plead. Mr. Goldspring threatened to have me arrested. He only relented grudgingly when I insisted that my refusal to plead excused me from entering the dock. Despite my vigorous resistance, Mr. Goldspring purported to be putting in a plea of not guilty for me, which I do not accept his right to do. He then dropped into a private conversation with prosecution solicitor Emily Thornton. He seemed impressed by the number of prosecution witnesses she claimed before speaking very quietly to her so that I couldn't hear what was being said. Mr. Goldspring ignored my reminder that I had not entered any plea, as he once again barked at me to get a solicitor. He also ignored me when I asked him why a Hampshire case like mine had been transferred to Westminster. When I demanded my constitutional right to a trial by jury, he abruptly said, "You're not getting one. This is a summary offence." I wasn't treated equally with the prosecution. I did not feel Mr. Goldspring regarded me as innocent until proven guilty. I was left with the impression of being railroaded by him. On 10th of February 2025, I was up before Mr. James Gordon for a case management hearing. Again, I was not given equal treatment. As a litigant in person, I should have been allowed to sit at the advocates' benches. Instead, I was made to sit on a chair to one side in front of the dock, without any desktop on which I, my Mackenzie friend, and my husband, both sitting with me, could manage our paperwork. Mr. Gordon seemed angry at my lack of a solicitor and browbeat my Mackenzie friend, whose right to support me he questioned, even though he must know that it's no business of any court to tell anyone how they should defend themselves. I entered official complaints against both judges, so I was surprised when Mr. Goldspring was on the bench at the next case management hearing on 15th of April 2025. When I suggested he should recuse himself, he refused. But in the end, this hearing went quite differently. Without explaining why he couldn't have done it before, Mr. Goldspring agreed to transfer the case to Southampton magistrates. What may have made the difference was that the public gallery was full and people were not prepared to stand for misconduct from the bench. Things did get quite exciting when the CPS solicitor announced that the prosecution were not going to call some of their witnesses. I said, "You're not going to call all the witnesses? Some of those witnesses have made defamatory statements against me. I want them all brought in for cross-examination." Judge Goldspring looked at me and said, "If you want these witnesses called, you will have to pay their expenses." This didn't just shock me, it shocked more than one person in the public gallery. A lady at the back of the court called out and said, "That's corruption." She said, according to Halsbury's law, these courts are unlawful. With that, Judge Goldspring said, "Leave the court." And she said, "No, I'm not leaving the court because you've told me. I'm leaving this room because, again, of the corruption." She left the room. Then, just before Judge Goldspring was about to speak, a man at the back stood up and said he agreed with everything that lady said. Judge Goldspring said, "I'm not having people talking to me from the back of the court." The man said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll take 3 steps nearer to you." With that, Judge Goldspring stood up and said, "I'm vacating the chair," and walked out. He just walked out the room. In the absence of any apparent security, it was thanks to the prompt, sensible and efficient response of a lady official or advisor to the court that Mr. Goldspring returned to the bench so that matters could be concluded and the transfer of the case to Southampton finalised. Now, I do have a number of witnesses, but would like to appeal for more information regarding any other incidents where members of the public feel that they have been victimised for raising serious matters, including police corruption with PCC Donna Jones and or Scott Chilton, former Hampshire Chief Constable. Now, in the description, what I'll do, I'll place a link so you can get in contact with us. Quite a bit hangs on this case. Only public opinion and public protest will stop corrupt office holders abusing their power and the court process to attack their legitimate opponents with claims of harassment. If you can, turn out for the hearing. The more the merrier. Thank you for watching.